So this is a description of hell continuing. We have various description now. We had Tamishra for the people who harass other people and snatch their belongings such as wife, money, wealth. We had Andhatamishra for people who are doing these things even more severely. And then the people living in the bodily conception and giving pain to other living entities, we had Raurava. And then we had something called, after Raurava, Maharaurava. It was for the people who give more pain to the other living. See, it's proportionate. And then people who cook animals and eat them, we had Kumbhipaka, so the meat eaters. And then we had Kala Sutra for the people who kill saintly people. And then we had people who, without an emergency, break the religious principles. We had for them Asi Patravana. And till now, that is a description. So we have been discussing this point. Why the hellish condition? The description of the universe. There are 14 planetary systems. And above the Garbhodaka ocean and below the lowest planetary system, Patala, there are these hellish planets ruled by Yamaraj. But why Lord has created this situation? Why hell even needed? And the kind of suffering which are being talked in the hell, we can't even imagine. Some devotees have made videos of that. You can't see that video. You'll not sleep for a few days. Why? Why so much punishment, so much correction? Because there is a purpose. Just like a teacher is taking a class, if students make a noise, if teacher has no purpose, he doesn't bother. He just speaks. Nowadays, many teachers do like that. They know they cannot manage the youth. They just write something on the board and run away. They don't even look at the class because they know you cannot manage the class. More and more, any teacher you talk to today, particularly you are talking to youngsters, they say it's unteachable. The audience is unteachable. Similar problem they have in many more parts of the world. So that is one, one way. But the teacher has a purpose to do in the class. He wants to educate the children. Then the who are making noise, he will be very disturbed with them. Correct? If he just come for his salary, write something on the board and run, he doesn't look who's doing what in the class. There are some teachers like that. They are not bothered. Then it's okay. Because he fail also, he is not bothered. He gets his salary, it's their life. But if really somebody wants to teach, if some sound is there, he gets very irritated because it disturbs. Just like now we are taking class, slight sound, irritated. We have some purpose to do. I want to communicate the message of this is Srimad Bhagavata. Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, the difference is Bhagavad Gita teaches in summary. There was no time. There was only battle is about to start. Maybe half an hour or 45 minutes Gita was spoken. And that's what it takes. If one person takes role of Arjuna, other of Krishna, you talk the verses in Sanskrit, it will be over in 45 minutes. But we don't know Sanskrit. That's why we tried it recently on Gita Jayanti. We chanted the whole Gita. We took 2.5 hours. It's because we are not used to that language. If you are used, just like speaking English or our local language, it will be finished in no time. But there was no time. But when the Bhagavatam goes into more detail, Bhagavad Gita says, Krishna says, those who disobey the instructions, I will throw them into the place. So therefore, there is no choice. Some people say, I have a choice to obey Krishna or not obey Krishna. You have no choice. You don't obey. Look at this. Are you ready for this? I always give a very simple example. You're on the road and there is a driving a car. You don't follow traffic laws or follow traffic laws. Looks like you have freedom. But actually there is no freedom. You don't follow, they will take you to the police station and beat you nicely. Correct? You don't follow traffic laws, you hit 2-3 cars and there is an accident, they'll arrest you and give you nicely. What are you supposed to do? So you have no choice. You are supposed to follow the traffic laws. So similarly, for Krishna, this word has a purpose. And everybody is here to fulfill the purpose of creation. And what is the purpose of creation? To become a sincere servant of the Lord, whose focus is only one, to please the Lord. That's why Bhagavad Gita is spoken. Arjuna was a pious soul, but his purpose was not at the beginning of Bhagavad Gita to satisfy Krishna. He had his own purpose. No, I want to take care of my grandparents, and like that. He has his own mission of life. But Krishna has a different mission in this world. So when you participate in the mission of Krishna, that is dharma. What is dharma finally? Dharma means dharmam tu shakshat bhagavat pranitam. Just like an army is there. And he has a mission. He has a war to do. So there is a war situation. And you are the soldiers. If you disobey, you will court-martial you. And court-martial is a much more severe punishment than a civil court. Correct? Just like in Pakistan, when the civil courts could not handle, they handed all the terrorist cases to military court. Because military court is very fast and very severe. They yamuduta, they punish you. Very, correct? So similarly, it's for us. If we accept to follow the rules and regulations of the commander, it says the army, rules and regulations will be there. You have to obey. When I signal like this, you should shoot. When I say like that, you should run. Some signals, some rules are there always. But at the end of the day, you are good friends. Correct? He'll be very happy with you. He'll come and meet you. It's very nice. How was the war today? And this. But if you disobey, you are in a great trouble. He'll court-martial you. So we are all actually servants of the Lord. Our Lord has a mission in this world. It does not do what you want. He has a serious mission in this world. Unfortunate thing is we are not aware of his mission. Therefore, Prabhupada is saying, people don't even know God is there, forget about obeying him. It's like there is a government, you don't even know government is there, forget about obeying traffic laws. Hey, there is no government, why I have to follow traffic laws? I'll drive whatever way. Yeah. But you'll come to know when the notice comes. Notice will come to your house. You were seen driving above the highest limit. You were seen doing accident there. Correct? All the notice comes to your house. Then we come to know. So similarly, people do not understand this fact that each act that we are doing is being watched. Every movement, whatever we do, is being watched. An idle mind is devil's workshop on top of it. Therefore, it is extremely important every individual should pack his day with good activities of Krishna consciousness. That is very blissful. Okay? And something I am doing. It does not matter when you are trying to serve Krishna, just like Arjuna when he was fighting for Krishna. It does not matter whether he wins the war or he loses the war. It does not matter. His business is to obey Krishna. His business is to not even consider the order of Krishna, to obey the order. Like an army, like commander says shoot, you're not supposed to think, will we win the war or will we lose? That is not your consideration. You're supposed to participate. Correct? So Prabhupada says actually, Krishna consciousness should be practiced as in a military discipline. I say sometimes. Military discipline. Very much he liked that kind of thing. That is how Krishna consciousness should be practiced. A military discipline. Sometimes Prabhupada used to say, just like a machine, the part is there, cut, it just moves. That is how we should all move in service to Krishna. And that is a positive framework. There is no question of any problem in that. You become very, very dear to the Lord. Just like we know the famous case of Hanuman. He fought with putting all his life at risk for Lord Rama. Correct? He became very dear to the Lord. And Ravana saw hellish condition. Whole his family was wiped out. Whole kingdom was burnt. That is like Ravana. So you want to see hell like Ravana saw, or you want to enjoy nectar like Hanuman enjoyed. He became so dear to Lord Rama. In fact, he blessed him that everywhere you will be worshipped. That is how you see even to this day, Hanuman is worshipped. The blessing of Lord Rama. Any corner you see. So, and Ravana, we burn his putala. So what do you want to do? You want putala to be burned, or you want to be, somebody was saying a very nice joke. If you go to somebody's house, very regularly, you lose your respect. लोग से ऐसा कुछ काम नहीं है, correct? But if you go to God's place very regularly, you become very dignified. You become very respectable. If you go, suppose you go to somebody's house every day, you go, what is कुछ काम नहीं है क्या? People lose respect, correct? But if you go to a temple every day, very regularly, you become very respectable person by the God's grace. And you also develop so many qualities. When you go to the temple of the Lord, you're directly sitting in front of the Lord, a place where the Lord is being worshipped. So what happens? Even being glanced by the Lord, because God is always thinking of your auspiciousness. What happens? You become very happy. So everything becomes what we have been saying, Vardhanam. Everything becomes auspicious. So we should strictly follow the rules and regulations as given, and it cannot be followed. Basically, the rules and regulation we have to know in summary. The details are very, very intricate. What are the sinful activities and what is the reaction for that? That is very intricate. We are seeing now, correct? But in essence, we should follow the 4 regulatory principles very rigidly. What are they? No intoxication. Take care. And we, as personally in the temple, we don't even take tea and coffee because that is also slight intoxicant. But overall, avoid intoxicant. That leaves the hard of serious ones: cigarette, liquor. Take care. In the beginning, then slowly this will go away. Actually, in India, tea, coffee was not there. So they introduced the Britishers. It's a very pure country. We learned so many silly things. Then that is intoxication. Then Dutam, the gambling. We should avoid gambling. I know so many people are proud telling me they're investing in shares. Some students, now they're crying. Whole market has collapsed. So that is also because China collapsed, it has collapsed here. Lost all their money. So don't do gambling. You will not be at peace. Even if you make money, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Putting money in lottery or varieties of quick money business. Sometimes they buy land to sell tomorrow. Today they register. Before the registration is over, they try to sell the land. And they get stuck sometime in a wrong property with the wrong papers. Or sometimes that land nobody wants to buy because market is not there. And they get stuck. Don't get into some quick money business. Earn honest livelihood. It's very peaceful. The mind becomes very peaceful. Okay? So this gambling not only involves gambling, we think about cash, card gambling or casinos. Gambling involves any quick money business. अभी सुबह शेयर खरीदा 5 मिनट बेचना है. It's not good. It's not worth it. All the time your mind will be on the TV seeing the shares going up, down, up, down. You cannot live peacefully then. It's not worth it. You may earn some money, it's not worth it. Live. जीना तो शांति से जीना. What is the use of living? ठीक है. Dyutam, gambling, panam, nasha. Any kind of intoxicant is not advisable. And it is unfortunate today in Mangalore you see that wine shops are these kind of wine shops are not there in Bombay also. The glass are decorated. One by one they are coming. Somebody came from Bombay, said, my God, in Bombay we don't have this. I said, yeah, this city is the city of drunkards. 90% people are drink in the evening. Dyutam Panam. Striya means illicit sex. At least in Mangalore that civility is there. It's not so open, but somewhere it is very, very degraded. We should avoid. If you can, remain a brahmachari. That's very nice. If you cannot, be a gentleman. Get married. Correct? But don't create mess in the society. Dyutam Panam Striyam. Striyam refers to not getting associated with the woman. No, that is not talking about that. It refers to illegitimately relating, not without responsibility. When relating with the wife, there is a responsibility. You have to take care of the wife. You have to take care of the children. Irresponsible life is not recommended in the Vedas. They will be punished for that. Dyutam Panam Striyam Shuna. Meat. Again, the biggest problem in Mangalore. 90% people here eat meat. Okay? Or maybe more. These 4 things, when the wife says, they constitute actually sins. Just like we read here. It's so dangerous. If you are killing animals and eating them, the same way you will be fried in a kadai. And some people still worse. Live animals they kill. Live animals they cook. They like that. In China, I heard, I don't know, I have not seen, but I heard people go to a restaurant, they have different kind of, things and animals. And while going in, you select this one. Anything that moves, they eat. Maybe snake, maybe rats, maybe cockroaches, everything they eat. The person just selects this one. And that fellow is running in live in front of you. And they like that only they fry him. Alive they cook him. And they serve to the person. Be ready. Same way you will be punished. We should completely avoid. It's like don't make your stomach into a graveyard, they say. And Shamshan Ghat. Don't make your stomach into that. We should not eat like Rakshasa. This is a Rakshasa food, not a human food. Human beings, we have to live. We have to give pain to somebody else. That's a cruel law of nature. Jivo jivasya jivana. One living entity is a food for another living entity. So there are some people, the very great saints, they take therefore only milk and fruit because nobody dies. When you take a fruit or a milk, nobody dies. So some people live like that also. All the people who used to go to forest do tapasya, we hear about them in the Vedic culture. They were having fruits and milk only. They're not making chapatis in the forest. No, they're not. They have no time for that. But it's not possible for us. One Ekadashi, sometimes we have to take fruits and milk. We become very difficult whole day. We have no energy only. By evening, can't walk only. So therefore, there is a process given in Bhagavad Gita. Patram pushpam phalam toyam. Krishna says, these four things you offer to me and eat. No problem. But it is vegetarian food. Patra means leaf. Pushpa means flower. Phala means fruit and water. So these things Krishna says you offer to me and you can take. Because there may be some sin involved even in this. You have given some inconvenience. When you pluck the leaf, when you have taken the flower, correct? You have given some inconvenience to the plant. So therefore, Krishna says you give it to me. Why is he telling that? Because he has sanctioned that food for you. And if you offer to him and take, it becomes prasada. Just like we are doing the Nevedyana. So there may be some sin. When you are cooking, so many bacteria may be dying. There is some inconvenience you have caused. You cannot say you are not causing any inconvenience. But Krishna will take that. Just like example is given. Suppose you are fighting for the country. Even you kill so many soldiers. Recently it happened. So many soldiers died. So those soldiers who killed those terrorists who had come, correct? And somewhere the army base they attacked, no? Okay, everybody knows some terrorist had come. They are given Paramveer Chakra. And they're not punished for that. Because for a higher cause he killed them. Okay? So similarly, if you say, I'm making this offering to the Lord, but on the way, I'm making that offering to the Lord, some bacteria died, Krishna will digest that karma. He will take that karma. You will not be held responsible for that. So that is the higher principle. So this should be a meditation, that how I can avoid causing pain. I have to cause pain. But as a gentleman, as a human being, as the highest form of civilization, we should cause minimum pain. Some people say this concocted thing. God has given them for my enjoyment. Don't be insane. Younger brothers should be taken care by elder brothers, not exploited or tortured. The God has given them to them us for taking care. Correct? On earth, man is the most intelligent animal. True or not? Most intelligent personality. So his business should be to compassionately take care of these animals. Therefore, Prabhupada says, it is said very nicely. I once been in an architecture college. So I said, how do you judge a building is very nice? This is not building is very nice. How it is managed nice. We see it is managed nice if the public toilet is very clean. That should be our principle also. It's a good management means public toilet is very clean. That's a very good management. True? You go to somewhere, if you want to see how good the management is, don't have to go to his office. Go to the public toilet. If it is spick and fan, means very good man. Rest will automatically, if he has gone to that level, rest all would have been taken. Go to the lowest. The same way, if in a kingdom, the animals are fearlessly roaming around, you're a very good king. Today, if you look at the eyes of the animal, recently we had Govardhan Puja. They tried to bring a cow from a Goshala to the venue where we wanted to worship the cow. See the trouble they had. So much fear in that cow. Why so much fear? Why the animals are living is so much fear. That shows very bad rule. Correct? Animals are in fear. Today somebody said if you want to have a cow, you have to buy a gun also. Because people come and even you don't kill, people are ready to kill them. Correct? The animals are living. The civilization has degraded so much actually. The country where, the cow was worshipped, Krishna is called Gopala. And the same country, the cows are living in fear. It's a Yudhishthira Maharaj time. The cows are so jolly, so much happy that, the ground was moistened with milk. In fact, recently one video came wherein some people, there are many around the world, there are people who feel for the animals. They have some organizations also. So what they did together, they put in money and they release some cows which are kept for slaughtering in a slaughterhouse. They paid for the cows and got the cows released. He said, okay, I don't mind. I get my money. I don't mind. Correct? Any businessman is fair. Pay me, take. So they just release the animals in the wild. You should see their pictures. It's a seeable sight. They are just jumping over each other. Generally, cows don't do that. Jumping over, nudging. So happy to be. So every living entity wants to be free. He's the son of God. He also has a right. Therefore, it is called praja. Praja means anything that is born in a country is called praja. Okay? It is not only you, the human being. Everybody has a right. How can you say that I only have a right? Just like a father's, all the children have equal rights. Okay? So similarly, we are all children of Supreme Lord God. So we all have equal rights to live. How can we encroach upon others' right? Ishavash evdam sarvam. Everybody, everything is coming from the Lord. Tena taktena bhunjita ma grida kasudhanam. Don't take away, snatch other person's right. Give him also his right. Correct? That's a gentleman. But you infringe upon that. Either you other human beings who try to snatch their family, their wives, their children, their money, or you try to torture people, worse, try to torture the saints, you're trying to distribute message of God, be ready for a severe punishment. Okay? So nothing, every movement is being watched. The Lord is there in your heart, His agents, all the devatas are watching us. Okay? Therefore, every moment we should try. First thing, we should sit down. The summary of Bhagavatam is in Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavatam is very big. It's 18,000 verses. Bhagavad Gita has how many verses? 700 verses. Okay? It doesn't take much difficulty. Every day we read for half an hour, 1 hour. Within few months we will read Bhagavad Gita. Okay? And not only we read, we try to imbibe those principles. And we discuss among devotees and make it part of our life. If we neglect to do that, if we live a life recklessly, then it is severely punished. Animal is not punished. If you live a life like an animal is better off. There is no punishment for him. Because he has no freedom. Correct? But human being has freedom. If he behaves irresponsibly, he will go for a severe punishment. Nowadays many times they are watching animals. They're saying animals do this, so we can also do this. That's why they justified so many sinful activities. Don't want to name them. Animals do this, so we can also do. Animals are killing other animals, we can also kill. Animals are eating meat, we will also eat meat. Good. But animals are better off. There is no hell for him. You are going to go to hell. Animal doesn't go to hell. You will go to hell because you had freedom. You are supposed to act responsibly. You cannot behave like an animal. Then you will be severely punished. Okay? Because you misuse an opportunity in that way. Srila Prabhupada ki, Srimad Bhagavatam ki.